it's amazing to see, fans obviously out there, and it's a home field advantage for us.
You are now tuned into Homefield Advantage with your hosts, the GM, Justice General Radford, the Caveman, Michael Lisman. Enjoy.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Homefield Advantage. I am your host, Justice General Radford. My guy, my brother, Caveman is not with us tonight. He has he's home remodeling because he's so he's remodeling his home, and he got me tonight, and not just me, but I brought some very special guests with me. You know what I mean? Some guys that I respect a lot, their work very much. My man, my partner, my guy, we got Mr. Ryan C. Caughill. Well, I don't know your middle name, but you go by Ryan C. Was Ryan Caughill,
My middle initial is M, but it's Michael.
Okay.
No,
well, hold on. I gotta give you your full intro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, because we can't pass over the fact that you're the owner of LDG Sports and Entertainment. You know what I mean? We can't pass over the fact that you're the host of one of the dopest pods out there, the Rust Belt Report. You know what I mean? We can't gloss over that, Ryan. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on, Ryan? Welcome to the show. How you feeling tonight, bro?
Well, I texted you before the show. I'm feeling like I just rushed from Larkinville back up to North Buffalo because I did. I may or may not have broken some speed limits on the 33 in the 198 in order to do that. So that's how I'm feeling right now. But no, man, I appreciate you inviting me on, and I'm repping because it came in today. I don't know if you can see.
That's a beaut.
The Von Miller. Von Miller's jersey came in 2 months earlier than was predicted by NFL Shop. So I'm very grateful for that. Night before the draft, I think, as Jake just said, 'twas the night before draft miss, and NFL Shop gave me a Von Miller jersey. So thank you.
That's very cool, because if you were in Vegas or whatever, well, no, because I mean, yeah, there's no way you'd make it to Vegas while also getting the jersey. So either way, you got it to watch during the draft, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Jake says speed limits are a suggestion
on the 33.
Listen,
sure.
Kids, especially you 15-year-olds, that is a joke. Okay, it's a joke, guys. Wear your seatbelts, click it, or get a ticket. But also, we got my guy Charlie Gross. Every time I am on some type of show with Charlie, we always talking. Is always a great conversation. Every time, so Charlie is the CEO of 12 Square. He's the CEO of TTP Analytics. He also is the founder of Draft Value Score. He's got like 12 podcasts coming out. Like Charlie's out here moving. He's out here, doing work, and I think he's really talented. So I am super excited to have my man Charlie Gross on the show. What is going on, Charlie? How you doing tonight, bro?
Well, I appreciate the invite, and as usual, I appreciate the kind words. I'll do my best to live up to that, because, like I said, expectations, man. I'll I keep telling you I'm doing all this stuff, but then you're so loquacious with your praise of my work. I'm like, oh man, no, I really gotta buckle down here and get going. Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on. It's nice to see you guys, and looking forward to having fun today.
No, Charlie, you know what the coolest part of everything I just said was? Right? It wasn't my opinion of you. Everything I just said was fact. So that's everything you've done up to this point. So, it's not just kind words, bro. I'm just speaking the truth. So I do appreciate the sentiment, though.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I think some of that is still your opinion. I'm sure other people might look at me in a little bit of a different light, but that's okay.
I was the old Charlie. We got the new Charlie.
Yeah, man. I turned over a new leaf. I lost a little weight. I'm eating protein bars more, drinking more water. So I'm trying, man. I just self-love. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
More power to you, because I certainly can't do that.
I was about to say, send me your regimen, and I'll see if I could get with it.
Yo, man. I know they're not a sponsor, but I got these Built bars that I heard about that I've been eating a lot of.
We have no sponsors, Charlie. You can chill.
Oh, well. Built Bars.
Hey, shout out to Built Bars. Pay us, maybe. No, but seriously. All right. So welcome to Home Field Advantage, everybody. Obviously, we have Ryan and Charlie with us today. And since Caveman couldn't be here, kind of had to, scramble and see what we could do. Oh, okay. That shouldn't affect you guys. Should be able to still hear me. So pretend like I'm not fixing my headphones while I say what I'm saying. But we're going to do a mock draft battle, right? Between the three of us, So I told these gentlemen that they get to pick the mock draft site of their choice, right? And all of us pretty much, said we're cool with Draft Network. Because that's just like that's the one, right? Who goes to like never mind, I'm not going to. Anyway, so with that means there will be no trades in any of ours. So because I do not have premium. I'm just letting y'all know now. So we're going to go ahead and get into the mock draft, and we are going to do a trivia question to see who goes first.
Oh,
Ooh.
Interesting.
Y'all wasn't expecting this, right? Okay, so I had to think of a trivia question. But I'm going to ask you guys the same one Caveman asked me, right? And this one I got right. So I'm going to take away the obvious, right? And we'll see which one of you guys is closer, okay? So excluding the extra point attempt, right?
Okay.
What is the one play in football that would grant you the least amount of points? Actually, what is the least amount of points you can get on a single play that and you can't say an extra point?
Okay. Should I
No.
buzz in?
You can't Google.
No,
Charlie.
I was gonna say, should I buzz in?
No, we need your answer.
Oh, 2 points.
Okay. I'm sorry. Ryan, what's your answer?
I would also say 2 points.
But one of y'all has to be right. Why would you say the same answer?
That's what I think it is. Now,
I can change my answer just so that one of us is right.
Charlie, change your answer. Let's see if you get it right.
So hold on,
a touchdown.
Is this like a brain buster? Like, is it a trick, or is there
actually, it's not a trick. It's just something that I don't think most people are aware of. So the correct answer is 1. Okay. That doesn't include an extra point. There is a 1 point safety on the extra point, right? So let's say you go for 2, interception happens, you return the ball out. For whatever reason, you are now back in the end zone and you get tackled. That is a safety. And the team that threw the interception, that scored the touchdown, obviously, would get 1 point. And that is how you get 1 point that doesn't include kicking an extra point attempt. So since that is the situation, we'll just go in alphabetical order. So we'll go Charlie, Justice, Ryan. Sound cool?
Yeah. I do feel like has that ever happened?
I don't think so. That is a wild scenario.
Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah, absolutely wild.
Huh.
So,
I did not know that, obviously.
Yeah. Caveman said it to me. I was like, there's no way. And honestly, the only reason I got the answer right is because he forgot about the extra point attempt being 1 point. That is the only reason. Because I said the extra point is 1 point. He's like, damn. But so that was the thing he was talking about. But Jake, you did not know the answer. You did not know the answer. What's going on, Richard Rush? Appreciate you joining tonight. Shout out to Coach Boom in the comment section. Coach Boom celebrated a birthday last week, so I already told him happy birthday, but I want to give him some love on the show. Thank you for your support as always, Coach Boom. I hope you had a happy birthday, man. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these mock drafts. Mr. Gross is first up. Let me disable my ad blocker. All right. There we go. All right. So now you got to remember the thing about, these mock drafts is they're volatile. You never know what you're going to get, right? So we all may have very different looking, drafts. And maybe some of us get more options than others, and you know how the game go. So what are you guys thinking? Five or seven? First one that shouts it out, we'll do it.
I mean, if you're gonna do a mock draft, you might as well mock the draft. So
let's do it. 7. I'm with it. All right, bet. All right, Mr. Gross. Let's look at what you have. Trayvon Walker is the first player gone. Kayvon Thibodeau's the second player gone. Aiden Hutchinson isn't gone until 4 to the Jets. That should be interesting.
Ooh, Drake London to Washington.
Trey McDuffie is gone. Jameson Williams is gone. Chris Olave is gone. Kaiir Elam is gone. Daxton Hill is gone. Mr. Gross.
Whew.
This is your draft board.
So this is what I would do, or what I think they would do.
This is all right. So this is what I told Jake, right? So we're doing Freaky Friday, right? You, Charlie Gross, you were spending a time with your amazing wife. You guys were having a blast, and then you fell asleep, right? And you woke up, and you got like these 24 karat solid gold drapes. You get out of bed, and you like float to the bathroom. And you look in the mirror and you realize you're Brandon Beane, right? So you turn your diamond faucets on and you wash your face, and it's true. You're Brandon Beane, okay? And you have to, this is tomorrow, okay? And you go into the war room and you have to make every decision.
Okay.
What we doing?
Well, I would say that as much as I am tempted to go with Andrew Booth Jr., he's got some injury issues, like double hernia surgery and some other stuff. So that seems a little tough for me. So I'm going to go with, you know what? I'm just going to do the standard in the trenches, and I'm going to select Kenyon Green, interior offensive lineman from Texas A&M.
We got a guard gone in the first round for the Buffalo Bills. We get Josh Allen some offensive line depth there, potential starter maybe. We'll see what happens. Kenyon Green is the Buffalo Bills first round pick, at least, with Charlie Gross as the GM.
Richard, I want to see Treylon Burks actually run a route. Like, I don't know if he can do it or not, but they didn't have him do it. So I just really don't know, like if he can run routes. So I wouldn't take him because of that reason.
So we had Jake. I'm sorry if you see the infinite, the thing in the middle here. I think it's pretty cool. So I hope you guys don't have any anything. Well, anyway, so we got Jake screaming Andrew Booth Jr., and then you get Kenyon Green and he says reasonable pick. I think Jake is lying a little bit there. I think he secretly hates you. So we'll see what happens there. But this is your next pick, Charlie.
Oh, Gross. This is such a fantastic scenario for me. Oh, I'm loving this right now.
Breece Hall is on the board just so you won't take him and piss everybody off. Is that what's happening?
Basically, yes. I have issues with a guy who falls down on his own out of nowhere. I know that everyone else doesn't seem to care, but if you watch his film, he just kind of falls down. So that's not great. And I understand he's fast and stuff, and but he just kind of falls down. So what are we doing here? You know what? I am going to take I really like John Mechie. I don't know why he's this low. I don't know why people have him this low. I love John Mechie. Okay, you know what? You know what we're going to do? We're going to take John Mechie, wide receiver from Alabama. I watched some of his film, and to me, he's got a release package similar to Stevie Johnson. Incredible off the line. Not great in his breaks. They're more rounded than squared, but that can be fixed. Gabe Davis has rounded breaks as well in his break points, so not a huge thing. I just think
Charlie,
he's incredible.
You hate Gabriel. You hate Gabriel.
I do not hate Gabe Davis. I don't hate Gabe Davis.
I'm joking.
But I like John Mechie because he's fast and he gets off the line like Stevie Johnson. And I think that's exciting.
All right, so with Charlie first 2 picks, we've got offensive line help. We've got another weapon for Josh Allen. Josh is loving this draft, it looks like.
Oh, he's about to love it some more.
Okay.
Look at, I waited, my patience paid off, and I got the best running back in the draft. Is still on the board right here. Isaiah Spiller, running back, Texas A&M again.
All right, so we have our top 100 picks. We got 3 offensive players for Josh Allen. We got some depth on that offensive line. We got him a speedy wide receiver threat. And then we got, per Charlie Gross, the best the best running back in this entire draft. Hey, this looked like a good draft.
And
so
we
far
may never pick again with.
All right, so it is now time for the Buffalo Bills 130th pick. What we looking at, Charlie?
Oh man, so things have sort of thinned out a little bit. Can you bring me up the tight end position, please, if you don't mind?
I sure can.
Oh, that's not ideal. Okay, then. Let's just go back to the whole thing. Wow. Okay. You know what we're going to do here? We are going to go. Can you scroll down just a little bit farther? Keep going. Oh man, things are a little rough. All right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to just sit there and we're going to take Matthew Butler. I believe he's an interior defensive lineman from Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken.
Matthew Butler is off the board, ladies and gentlemen. So now, to add with Daquan Jones, to add with Von Miller, to add with Shaq Lawson, to add with Jordan Phillips, second year of Gregory Rousseau and Boogie Basham, third year of AJ Epinesa, we've got some more defensive line depth. And they're going to go ahead and take Matthew Butler, inside defensive lineman out of Tennessee. And with the 5th round pick, the Buffalo Bills pick is coming up. We can look at the board and see your potential targets and who might be available. The Buffalo Bills are yet to take a cornerback at any point in this draft so far. What will Charlie Gross do?
And the podcasters and media at this point are furious with. I am going to go actually. I'm going to go with here we go. It'll please everybody. I'm going with Jack Jones, cornerback. So we got our cornerback. You know, the Bills do not enjoy taking cornerbacks very high, although Sean McDermott did allude to it in his press conference last week. That they were looking at that. But whatever, that might have been a smoke screen on his part.
Yeah. I mean, they do a lot of smoke screens, that's for sure. All right. I'm curious. Wow. Matt Perez is gone already. Interesting. All right. Now we are back with the 85th pick. Excuse me. What are we looking at, GM Gross?
We're going to double up here now at corner, and we're going to go with Mario Goodrich from Clemson.
Mario Goodrich, 6 feet. Okay, good size. All right, I like it. Let's do it. All right, and then I believe you'll have one more pick to round out everything. So let's take another recap. You get some offensive line depth and 2 more offensive weapons, for Josh out there. And then you get a lot of depth on your defense. You get some secondary help. You also add to that stout defensive line as it already was. And then you go into your final pick as the GM of the Buffalo Bills. Charlie Gross, what are we doing?
Can you show me the wide receivers real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to go with Charleston Rambo from Miami.
Charleston Rambo out of Miami is the final pick for the Buffalo. Oh, wait, no. This is round 6. I think you have another pick.
Oh, yeah. There should be, one more, right? They traded away one.
So. Yep. Round 7. What are we looking at?
Oh boy. Let's take a look at the punters.
Punters, all right.
Yeah. Maybe they don't. Maybe we can't take a look at the punters.
Yeah. Do you have anybody in mind?
Never mind.
If this is the guy you're looking for, I believe he is still here.
Oh yeah. There we go. That's fine. We got a punter. A punter battle in training camp. No one likes anything better than a punter battle.
All right, and that'll be the final pick for the Buffalo Bills in this year's draft. As we watch the ending come out, we don't get to see who Mr. Irrelevant is, but at the same time, we really don't care. All right, let's look at these user picks here. We got Kenyon Green, inside offensive lineman from Texas A&M, John Mechie, wide receiver, Alabama, Isaiah Spiller, running back, Texas A&M, Matthew Butler, inside defensive lineman from Tennessee, Jack Jones, corner from Arizona State, Mario Goodrich, corner, Clemson. I heard he's very underrated. Charleston Rambo, wide receiver, Miami, Jordan Stout, punt god number 2 out of Penn State.
Yeah, and we have supreme confidence in Cam Lewis. Just so you know, I know people wanted to be totally confident in Cam Lewis. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I mean that's what we've been hearing. All right, Ryan, what are we thinking about this draft, man?
So for a big part of it, I'm sitting here, and obviously, like, the show isn't gonna be great if everybody has the same picks. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, all right, I would have taken that one. All right, I would have taken that one. Yeah, all right, I would have taken that one too. So I agree. I mean, these are great picks. I mean, like, specifically, like, look at running back at 89. I mean, props to Charlie for holding on and for, having the, the dumb luck strike that Isaiah Spiller's still there in the 3rd round. Because I think that's great. I don't know. We'll get into it when I get it, but I mean, that's obviously, depending on how mine falls, is going to depend on who I pick. But it is, I mean, these are some great picks. Do I agree with all of them? No, there were other people that were on the board that I would have taken, but that's me. I think that this is a really solid draft and not only just a solid draft, I think it's a great all-around draft. Like, it addresses every aspect of the team, and it's not heavy at one position or on one side of one phase of the football game. So I really like it.
I will say one thing before you guys start the next one. I'm sure I would imagine everyone listened to Brandon Beane's press conference, and I thought it was really interesting. And I love Brandon Beane because I feel like he's so honest, like, without naming exactly what player they want, but he's real honest. And I think one thing he brought up, which I didn't really think of, is that they want depth everywhere, but he said that he felt like he didn't really have a lot of depth at outside wide receiver after Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs. It's just kind of, Kumaro, or whoever. So I think that's going to, that kind of pushed me, and I think it might push them, obviously, to address that. I know we all want, like, Jameson Williams, but I think that's a concern for them, just from the way he was talking.
Yeah, I kind of got that same vibe as well, to be honest. But Ryan, you were talking about, we'll see what happens, when it's your turn to pick. So we're going to go ahead and get to Mr. Caughill now and have you do your mock draft now. All right, so we got Trayvon Walker as the first overall pick. All right, Gardner gone, Thibodeau gone, obviously Stingley, London, Jameson Williams is gone. Desmond Ritter is not somebody we were looking at, but Chris Olave and Trent McDuffie are gone. Kyer Elam is gone. Daxton Hill, again, is gone. So your board looks a lot like Charlie's board looked at this point.
Yep.
What are we looking at, Mr. Caughill?
One of the other things, too, this isn't mine, but Kyle Hamilton, I think, was taken. If you scroll down a little bit, I think he was taken by Minnesota. And that's kind of like amongst the Charlie talked about this before, like the podcaster kind of pick. Seems like the last day or so has been, at least on my timeline, has been pushing towards like the belief that Kyle Hamilton is somehow going to be there at 25. And we see in this mock draft, obviously it is a mock draft, that he was taken at 12. However, I'm going to change it up for my number one, and I'm going to go corner with Andrew Booth Jr. because simply because of the implications, not necessarily now, but more long-term. Obviously, we don't know the timeline necessarily for Trey to return right now. I'm a big why do I keep always I always brain fart on his name?
Who? Which guy?
Dane Jackson.
Thank you, Dane Jackson. My brain always goes to Levi Wallace first, and that's not who I want to talk about. Dane Jackson. I like Dane Jackson. I think he's filled in rather well for Trey, and on the defensive side, he didn't really need as much support, if any, as I think a lot of people expected him to need. Obviously, Charlie referenced Cam Lewis before, but like in terms of long term, but also what happens if Dane gets injured while Trey is still out. Like you want to have that first round pick, like a guy that you consider a bona fide guy who you think can step up. And so Andrew Booth Jr., corner from Clemson, is who I'm taking in the first, just because you know what? He's a first round pick. So you can extend him for that 5th-year option down the line. And if it comes down to the fact that Trey is either suffering from injury or Trey decides to retire at some point, because you don't know, you might be able to trade him during that 5th year, or you might be able to lock down your next corner and have some continuity there and have 5 years of relatively cheap, paying somebody relatively cheap while still being, getting that high production. So that's where I'm going with my first pick.
Absolutely. All right. And so with the first pick in the draft, the Buffalo Bills are taking cornerback out of Clemson, Andrew Booth Jr. That is Ryan Caughill's first pick as GM of the Buffalo Bills. I mean, hey, Sean McDermott's first pick as head coach of Buffalo Bills was Tre'Davious White. We saw how that turned out. So we'll see what happens there with Andrew Booth Jr. I mean, I think it'd be fine. I think, I'm with you in terms of the long term. You looking at the long term, I think it's cool to have a lockdown cornerback, 4 or 5 years down the line when you're competing for a Super Bowl than to have a guy who's ready to play this year, but then doesn't, is average or slightly above average down the line. Like, Baker Mayfield looked amazing in his first year. Now look at what he is, versus Josh Allen, who people say was garbage, which he wasn't if you actually go and watch, but whatever. And now you see what he is. So I'm kind of with you on that long-term, developmental ability. But when we go into the second round of the draft, pick number 57, you look at your board, there's some talent on this board, Ryan.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Oh, man. All right. So scroll back up to the top. Now, everything about me is pissed because we can see on the side Arizona took Spiller. Can you scroll down and see who took Breece Hall? The Chiefs. All right, great. That's all right. Just make my night that much better. If it was me and he was still available, I would take Breece Hall just because I'm assuming. Obviously, they still have Moss on the team. Singletary seems to be better when he's just that number one guy. So he has room for improvement. And again, you're gonna have him for a bit before he's gonna start getting those big time touches. So, what I want to do is take a running back. What I'm going to do is take Dylan Parham, the interior offensive lineman from Memphis, because he is a guy that can play center. He's a guy that can pretty much play the entire offensive line. And so I was excited to see that he is still on the board. And I think he's one of those coming in under the wire type picks. And if he's still available at 2 or 3, I would want Buffalo to take him.
Hey, I mean, it looks like the Draft Network agrees with you. They have a lot of great praise for this guy. It looks like they like him just as much as you do.
And look at that scheme fit zone. He's powerful, but he's also flexible. He's able to anchor. He's a very strong guy. Like it's the kind of guy. The only thing I don't know about him, and because I've been in Twitter Spaces before talking about him. The one thing that I don't know about him, which is kind of the final, deciding factor in whether or not he gets drafted by Buffalo, is if he's also a wrestler. That's the only thing I don't know. So
was he the guy that was a tight end?
Yes, he was. He was a linebacker and a tight end in high school.
Yeah. So I don't know if somebody can find out if he was a wrestler. I mean, it's a lock. They're going for him.
He lettered in basketball and track, sprints and jumps.
So hold on. One of the things I pointed out, you see there, his first 2 seasons at left guard. He did a third season at right tackle and finished his career at right guard. Somebody said that he did play center or could fill in at center or did at some point. So like I said, he's a guy that can play pretty much the entire offensive line. And we know how much this team loves to rotate guys on lines.
Absolutely. So we got some cornerback. You got your cornerback number 1/2 for the 2022-2023 NFL football season. And then you also get a starting caliber developmental inside offensive lineman in Dylan Parham from Memphis, right? So now pick number 3, still got some really nice talent on the board here. What do you want to do with this, GM Caughill?
Oh, man. There's a couple of names. Can you scroll up just a little bit more back up to the top? Dang. See, this is the problem. Like, there's still this draft is so deep at every position but quarterback. So it's like, where do I go? Yeah, scroll back up to the top for me, would you? I'm torn between Cam Jurgens and taking another offensive line, and then between James Cook and Rachaad White at running back. Like that's where I'm torn right now, because I think they take a running back, and 3 is typically where you're going to start seeing more of the running backs, I think, come off the board. But I like Cam Jurgens. I'm going to go with James Cook. James Cook just because he seems to be a fan favorite. He seems to be a workhorse kind of guy. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm happy with that pick.
All right, we're going running back out of Georgia, James Cook, who I hear is the exact replica of his brother, Dalvin Cook, obviously one of the best running backs in the NFL over in Minnesota.
Yeah, and I think he gives you a lot of stuff they were looking for in McKissick when they temporarily signed McKissick.
Yeah, temporarily, exactly. He had a shorter tenure with us than like Antonio Brown was. Well, I don't know. Actually, that might be close. I don't know which one of them was here shorter. All right, so let's look at this draft so far. Charlie, what are we thinking? We got a corner, right? We got a starting corner, whether it's CB1, CB2, we'll see. We got inside offensive lineman depth. We got a really talented running back. What do you think about this draft so far, Charlie?
I think this is like probably closer than mine was to what they'll actually do. I think I think they really want a corner. And they, Sean McDermott was pretty open about that. They weren't sure what Trey was going to be like this year, and they're very aware of how long it's going to take. So they might need a guy to come in and like really, really just start opposite Dane Jackson. I think they're going to love a guy like Parham because he's played multiple positions. He's athletic. He can play. And he's kind of like a bet on traits guy in a way. And I think James Cook, like I said, it's what they were looking for with McKissick. It's kind of what they got when they signed Duke Johnson. And you know, maybe, and as I know, a lot of us like love Singletary and they love Moss, but there's no guarantee they're going to, they might just be like, look, we're going to pick a running back. We're going to get him for 4 years and then he's gone and we're going to pick another guy. They might not re-sign Singletary. I mean, I don't, you know, I'm not going to, they spent like 2% against the cap at the running back position all the last 3 years. And I know Brandon Beane said, oh, well, you know, if someone came along and, you know, like I'm sure if like Thurman Thomas was in the draft, he'd pick him, but they've obviously made a concerted effort to keep the salaries low at running back. And so you just keep taking guys, you know, like, and letting a guy go. And I don't know if that's their plan, but I really like this draft so far.
All right. Well, we like it so far. Let's keep the ball rolling. Round 4, Ryan, what you got for us?
Yeah, I was gonna butcher his name, but the guy that you were just on, Luke, I think it's Goodecki, offensive tackle, Central Michigan.
Good guess, because I was gonna do something way worse than that. All right, so Luke Goodecki per Ryan, Central Michigan offensive tackle. He's going to bring some depth over there to help out, you know, Deion Dawkins and Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown looks like he could be a very sneaky stud offensive line pick for Brandon Beane in this regime. You know, coming in to be the starting tackle for a championship favorite team already in your second, or halfway through your first year. There's nothing to sneeze at, and I think if he continues his uptick, then that could be one of the best picks of Brandon Beane's career. And to go ahead and get more depth in that area, 6'5", you know, 310 is a big boy. So you know, we'll see what Luke Goodecki out of Central Michigan can do. Round 5, what you looking at, Ryan?
Oh boy. Yo, can I just say, what is that? Is his name Smoke Monday? If so,
yes,
that is an amazing name.
Yeah,
that's an amazing name. Oh, if I needed a safety right now in the 5th round, I'm taking Smoke Monday.
Yeah, Jordan Boyer making noise, man. Just saying.
So where was he? Oh, did they take him? There was a running back out of Cincinnati, Jerome Ford, who some mock drafts had Buffalo taking, and I'm a Cincinnati fan simply because of Pat McAfee. He's not on there. He was up there, so he must have just been taken. No, he's right there still. I'm not gonna take him. I'm not gonna take him, but Jerome Ford out of Cincinnati, I'm a big fan of him. He's a good kid, and Cincinnati's a fantastic football program. Again, this is the difficult part, just because there's a couple places. Because see, I'm coming from the what do I think that they're gonna do.
Hey Brian, like, okay, so let me give you the scenario too, right? Okay, yeah. So you are Ryan Caughill, right? You chilling with your buddies, you know, you drinking, having a good time, right? You fall asleep, right?
Yeah, I know.
And then you wake up, right? And you're platinum sheeted beds, right? And then you get up, and then like your personal unicorn assists you to the bathroom, and you look in the mirror.
Yo, my question is, why did I get platinum but Charlie got gold?
Because Brandon Beane has different things that are of high value every single day.
Right. Or maybe you switched bodies with Chris Brown and I just switched him with Brandon Beane. You know what I mean?
All right.
So what would you do if you in this situation?
Man. Well, that's the thing. Because like I said, I mean, you have like what you think, you have like what the fan base thinks and what the Twitterverse thinks, and then what you think that they're gonna do. So I'm trying to weigh all of those together at the same time. And if you could just do me a favor and scroll down so I can see like the next set, just because I'm considering causing issues here.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, scroll down a little bit more.
Jalen Naylor.
Yeah, it's a name that I'm looking at. This is round 5. I'm going to take Micah McFadden, linebacker out of Indiana.
Linebacker.
I like him. I've heard some really good things. I mean, he's 6'32" pounds, so he's a tall dude who is lean and fast. I know that has to be lean because I weigh 250, and I guarantee you I don't look like him at all.
Are you 6'2"?
No, not even close to that. But no, I mean he's I mean I've heard really good things.
It says he's an active and urgent player. McFadden plays with excellent competitive toughness.
What I really like is if you go to passing downs, it talks about how he blitzes 80% of the time on passing downs. So he's a blitzer. He recorded 6.5 sacks as a senior. Like that's what you're looking for, especially if you go the route of like Bill's Mafia on Twitter. Like if you're looking for a guy who could be more of a disruptor and an impact player than Edmonds has kind of been up to this point, regardless of anybody's feelings about him, that's a guy that you're going to want to, maybe take. Now, obviously, Edmonds was taken in the first round versus McFadden. And then, obviously Edmonds also went to, VT. You're talking about Indiana. So you're talking about two very different football programs. But, I mean, he's a guy that can disrupt, like I said, 6.5 sacks. He's tall, but he's lean. He's fast. He can get to the quarterback. So I'm a fan of Michael McFadden. I'm glad that I had you go down because I'm thinking he would have been gone by the time we got here to 185. All right.
Pick 185.
Jalen Naylor, wide receiver, Michigan State. I feel like if Naylor's there, you're in round that right there was round 6. So like if Naylor's there, like you're taking him.
Bro, you have to go Naylor. Have to. Absolutely.
All right. So is this the last pick?
This is not the last pick. This is the 6th round.
Oh, so wait. Yeah, we have 2 picks in the 6th round, right? Or was it 2 picks in the 5th?
2 picks in the 6th, I believe.
Yeah, they're building another one after this, I think.
Okay.
231.
The last one is the 7th.
All right. So can you go to punters? Let's see if there's a punter on the board.
Can't go to punters, but there is a punter on the board. His name is Jordan Stout out of Penn State.
Dang. I like Jordan Stout. I've seen some of his game, but I also have concerns about Jordan Stout.
What are they?
He has, at least I think so, what little I know about the science behind punting, but I think it's the way his foot lands on the ball. Now, granted, Penn State also doesn't have a fantastic special teams. So that could be part of the problem. Could be he just doesn't have a great protection up front, and he's just hitting the ball weird sometimes. But all right. If you scroll all the way back down to the bottom, I have a weird pick that I'm gonna do, but this is mainly just because it's my guy. They're at number 398, Diego Fejo, linebacker from Navy. He's an absolute beast who definitely does not deserve to be in the 6th round at all. He absolutely dominated, and he's been hands down just the best player on that Navy team since certain quarterbacks have been on that team. I'm talking like Keenan Reynolds, who I think was drafted 2014, somewhere between 2014 to 2016. And then Malcolm Perry, who was also drafted. And so then with my last pick, I'm going to take Jordan Stout, punter, Penn State, just because I think, I'm not sure, like I said, it could just be he has a weird way of kicking, but it could also just be he didn't have fantastic protection in front of him. And now, please do not get rid of this as fast as possible because I'm trying to write down what my picks are.
Oh, no, you're good. Let's take a look at these user picks.
All right, so 168 is where I'm at. All right. 185 was Jalen Naylor.
You know I'm screenshotting these, right?
Oh, no, I did not know that at all.
Yeah. I'll send them out to you guys.
All right.
So, all right, let's take a look at this final mock draft before we go into mine. Actually, since that's excuse me, that's where all the magic happens. Hey, mama. All right, let's look at these screenshots. Where is this at? Can't find it. Is this it? Nope.
That's a math test.
Show is. This is Charlie's. This is. I don't know whose this is. Looks like a great draft, though.
I was about to say those top three. Nakobe Dean's a good one.
Yeah,
I had somebody. I like Nakobe Dean, and somebody had him go into the Patriots, which not a big fan of, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, lost the screenshot, so I'm sorry.
That's fine. I wrote them all down.
Awesome.
We're good.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll find it later, and I will get this to you guys and post it. All right. Well, we'll start my mock draft at last. Last but not least, rather. All right, and we'll get some.
Jake, I'm gonna need you to up that to like an A.
We'll get some grades from the comment section here. We got Charlie with a B-.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
According to Jake Jordan, host of The Lowdown with Jake Jordan. Comes out every single Friday. Go check that out. And then he gives my guy Ryan a C+. Wow.
That's that. So the C is really close to the A. So
I mean, what's the difference between a C+ and a B-, right? Like
nothing. Like
a point or two, probably, right? Like depending on. So it's right there.
He said you fell off after pick 3. He wasn't feeling your draft, right?
I see that, but listen, man, I didn't just like watch film on like Diego Fajot at 203. Like I watched these Navy games like throughout. Like I don't care about college football unless it's Navy. So especially the Army Navy game, and I've watched Diego Fajot for 4 years now. 4 years for sure in the Army Navy game, plus additional games that I get the opportunity to pick. So like to get him in the 6th round versus the 7th is a steal.
Hey, man, that's like Jake with Gabriel Davis. You know, he thought Gabriel Davis should have been way higher than what he was. Then we got him at a low cost, and look what he's doing for us right now. You know, and he's pissing Charlie off every single week.
We'll see.
All right. So I'm gonna get into my mock draft now. All right, let's get to it. 7 rounds, fast. Let's go. I know mine is gonna be weird. Nope. Oh wow, that's probably the most normal first 3 we could have guessed. Right? Everything looks like it's okay. Okay.
Yeah, that went like super normal for the most. From like the predictions anyway.
So before yours starts, I was really weirded out. I can't remember if it was mine or Charlie's, but the Lions with the 32nd overall pick, because they had they got the 32nd from the Rams, took Kenny Pickett, and I was surprised Pittsburgh did not. And I don't think we saw what Pittsburgh took, but I was surprised Pittsburgh did not take him. I just wanted to throw that out there because I think he's a perfect fit for that team. But
All right. Well, we got Pittsburgh here taking Trent McDuffie, who probably would have been my pick had he not been taken. Daxton Hill, who also would have been my pick had he not been taken.
Yeah, we need a good backup, so we should.
All right. Well, you kind of read my mind because I was thinking Desmond Ridder here out of Cincinnati. No, so if I'm looking at this, I say I really like Andrew Booth Jr. However, I am going to go Jahan Dotson because I think there are great value corners in this draft. And I think Jahan Dotson gives you a potential superstar talent wide receiver who can come in and, be really good, who can challenge Gabriel Davis for that number 2, position. And even if he doesn't necessarily take it from him, to have a guy who's good enough to challenge, I think is always, a positive for your football team, especially when you're looking to develop people. Iron sharpens iron. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into our second round pick. Got some good talent here. Honestly, I am not looking to take a running back, but if I'm looking at this, I have no choice. I'm going to take who I perceive to be the best player available, and that is Breece Hall. Well, let me preface this, okay? I think Kenneth Walker is the better running back, okay? I think he's the better pure rusher. I think that if you hand him the ball and, under center and give it to him and let him go full, steam ahead into the offensive lineman to find your gaps, I think he makes people miss a lot more. My only issue with him is really not even his fault. I just don't know how well he is at catching the, out of the backfield. There's not a huge sample size of it. And we know that our offense is extremely, pass friendly. And I mean, we don't know what it'll look like with, Shula and Brady and Dorsey per se yet. But when you have the most talented and best quarterback in the NFL, chances are you're going to want the ball in his hands. So I think Breece Hall gives you that dynamic ability out of the backfield, to not only run the ball at a high level, but to catch it out of the backfield, to give you another playmaker on the offense, to team up with Devin Singletary, as well as now, Stephon Diggs, Jahan Dotson, Gabriel Davis, I could go on, Dawson Knox, OJ Howard, it's a ton of talent on this football team if we add these two guys to our offense. And that is where I'm going with that pick. Now, sometimes Quay Walker is there at pick 57. I'm going to take Quay Walker every time. So yeah, but he wasn't there, unfortunately. There is a guy who looks like he could possibly be there when I pick. Nope, he just got taken. Never mind. I have no problem doubling up on wide receiver if John Mechie is there, but he's not because the bum ass Patriots took him. All right, so let's see what we're working with here. All right, we got some decent talent on the board here, right? I'm looking at Alec Pierce. I really like this kid. Run a 4.4 out of Cincinnati. He's 6'3", really, really good size. He play outside, play the slot. I like him a lot. I like Jelani Woods here as well. Tight end out of Virginia. He's great size. He can block. He can catch. Really, really high upside. Right. I also like Kobe Bryant here out of Cincinnati. He's a big guy, 6'2". The only thing that kind of gives me pause is I believe he's not a great tackler, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what they said about him. Tackling. Yep. More of a launch and shoulder driver than a technical rapper, excuse me. He has a frame to properly secure the opponent. It just seems like a mentality issue. That's not a great, thing to be written about you. However, if I'm looking at this, I say we already got a game changer, Jahan Dotson. There's only but so many footballs to go around. So I would take Alec Pierce here, but if you get Jahan Dotson, you got keep forgetting his name, Jameson Crowder, Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs, obviously, OJ Howard. I just mentioned all these guys. I don't think a guy like Alec Pierce will be able to come in and make a difference immediately. And I don't know if he would come in and be able to, win a spot over a lot of the guys that we like. I mean, of course he will win a spot, but I don't know if he'll be enough of an impact player for me not to take someone else here who I think will be a bigger impact player. So I am going to go with it's between these two. Kobe Bryant and Jelani Woods. You know what? We've shown a lot of love to the offense. Let's go ahead and get us a cornerback. All right, he's tall, he's fast, he's got great zone skills. I think they can teach him how to tackle. Although that is a problem we have on his defense. I think hopefully with the shifted mentality of our defensive line, bringing in a guy like Tim Settle and Von Miller and those guys, bring that energy. Will help these guys get more enthused and be able to go out there and do some better tackling, if you will. Ryan, what are we thinking of these picks so far right here?
So I like the Jahan Dotson pick. I think that's great value at wide receiver. Great value that's also undervalued at wide receiver. Kobe Bryant, besides the fact fulfills depth, and obviously we have the injury concerns with Trey, but the depth need at corner. Also the fact his name is Kobe Bryant. I think that's an amazing pick. And then, like I said before, at 57, the fact that Breece Hall was there and available, I agree. Like I said, even with mine, when you got down to like 5 or 6, then Jerome Ford is there. It's such a deep draft that somebody at 5 or 6 is going to give you really good value. And like I said, and like you said, Kenneth Walker is probably the most pure rusher, but just Breece Hall has an opportunity to come into this team and learn from a really good teaching organization. As I like to sometimes reference as this like coaching staff, like they're really good at teaching. And so I think Breece Hall was a fantastic pick there at 2. And plus, going back up to Kobe Bryant really quick, I'm all for any Cincinnati player that can get taken because they're all undervalued because they're coming from Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fact of the matter. They did really well. People, are really looking forward to seeing, what those Cincinnati players can do in the NFL. Obviously, they had a crazy season last year and, looked like a lot of great talent. So thank you for your analysis, Jake. I'm sorry, Jake Ryan there. I'm thinking about the comment section. All right. So with my 4th pick, I'm kind of having a little bit of a dilemma. See this kid here, I really like him. However, I was just opening my mouth about how we don't have enough footballs to go around, but this guy's really good. However, I also really, really like this guy, Jalen Armour-Davis, cornerback out of Alabama. I think he's really good. Let me see. When is my next pick? 168. Do I think he'll be there? I do not think he'll be there. I'm not going to lie to you. But you know what? I'm just going to go with the value pick here. I'm going to get Josh Allen yet another weapon. I don't care. This is my draft. I'm going Velus Jones Jr., wide receiver out of Tennessee. That boy's a speedster. I really just would like to see what the Buffalo Bills offense can look like when they have a ton of speed on the football field, similar to what the Kansas City Chiefs did. We've seen Josh Allen do more with less. So what could he do with more? You know what I mean? So I think that that'll be something to help change the dynamic of the way our offense looks and put us in a Chiefs-esque situation where guys gotta, look out for what you can do. They're gonna have to, show you the respect. I want to see us in those deeps, see us in those, have to play, 2-man deep, and they already have. The only thing is they weren't playing it, they were playing it because Josh Allen's Josh Allen. right?
Right.
For the Chiefs, they were playing it because Tyreek Hill is Tyreek Hill, and not necessarily because Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Granted, he is, but they're not playing that with Juju Smith-Schuster.
No, the Bills aren't going to play too deep. I mean, they probably will a little bit, but it's because it was because of Tyreek. Everyone's afraid of Tyreek Hill.
100%. I couldn't agree more. So here we are in round 5. Let me see what we like. All right. I am looking at this board and I see a few names, right? So I like Jack Jones out of Arizona State. However, I think there is a cornerback on the board still who's yet to be picked that will be better. That could potentially maybe even be better than our 89th overall pick, Kobe Bryant. So I'm going to take a chance, and I think he's still going to be there toward the end when I go back and grab him. So I'm going to take this opportunity to get, I kind of like Smoke Monday, you know what I'm saying? I like him a little bit. I like him a little bit, I like Smoke Monday, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, great tackler, aggressive, you know what I'm saying? 6'3", the boy's huge, you know?
Yeah.
Give me one. You know what? I might shock myself. Give me a second. See something real quick. Just give me 1 second. That's not.
It's going to be good when you say to yourself out loud, I think I'll just shock myself.
Right. So I was looking at it. He runs a 4.52, which isn't bad, but it's not amazing. He is 6'3" though. Oh man. I hear 6'3" and I think like Sean Taylor and Bob Sanders. They weren't the tallest guys, obviously, but I would imagine those are guys that is like trying to knock your neck off, So that is something that
Yeah, Sean Taylor was definitely like 6'3".
Yeah. Let me see what they say about his tackling ability, right? Run defense. He's physical and aggressive run defender. Seems to enjoy the physical aspect of the game. I like that. He's an aggressive and physical tackler. His tackling efficiency is good, particularly in confined areas. His tackling on the perimeter is also good. I like that.
Got a lot of the Jets and the Dolphins both want to run that wide zone thing that San Fran likes to run.
There are moments where he can diagnose quicker or where his aggression gets him in trouble. He can be susceptible to play action due to his aggression. He also demonstrates this. But you know what? That can be fixed. When you're with, McBean and you have guys like Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde in front of you to be able to show you, where you lack and be able to, because who sees the field better than Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde? And these are the guys you're sitting behind for 1 or 2 years before you take over. You know what? I was gonna go ahead with Cade Mays because I really like him, and I think we do need some more depth in the offensive line. But honestly, with the Kessenberg, signing, offensive line is a little less important to me than it was before. I think he's like the highest rated offensive lineman on our football team currently, as far as last year is concerned. And so you get him off the willy-nilly, like that's another starting caliber offensive lineman. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to go ahead and take safety Smoke Monday out of Auburn, which I didn't expect to do. So I am shocking myself in that regard. All right, let me see. Is Areza gone? He is gone. When does he leave? Let me see.
Fourth, probably.
Show me the draft. Drafted. So he was never in here. That's interesting. I wonder why they took him out.
Is he in there? That's weird. Let me. What? I don't.
Are you looking for the punter? I can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
So the thing with the Draft Network is, because I saw a bunch of people talking about this, is that I think Stout is the only punter that's in the system, and I don't remember off the top of my head why they couldn't put all the punters in there, but Stout is the only punter.
Areza was in there before.
Okay. It was either this or something else, but one of the draft simulators, there was only, I think, Stout was like the only punter that was for some reason in there. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. That's weird. But here with my 6th round pick, my first 6th round pick, I am. When do I pick again? 203. You know what they say? If you like your guy, go get him. I'm going to go ahead and get Mario Goodrich, cornerback out of Clemson. This guy's 6 feet. I really think he has great. He's intelligent processor in zone coverage. Where he does a great job of staying leveraged and spacing on the field. He knows when to come out of his landmarks and work into the throwing lane. He anticipates routes and combinations well. Trusts his technique. With a zone heavy, scheme like we run. I really like this kid here as a hidden gem in this draft. I told you, I think that he could end up being better than even Kobe Bryant or, a lot of the other corners that, have went already. So I'm going to go ahead and get my guy, Mario Goodrich, cornerback out of Clemson. And then is my pick one more time. My second to last pick. No more of these people. I ain't mad. I'll go on a corner. Nope, not great value there. Got some decent value here. Let's see who the best player available is, right? We got a wide receiver, Reggie Robertson. No, we don't need another wide receiver. Don't need an edge. Don't need a linebacker. We need his offensive depth. Let's go Kellen did something. My bad, bro. I'm sorry, bro. If you hear this for some reason, I didn't mean it. And then final pick, I'll just go ahead and take the punter, just so we won't have to have Mac Hawk on our team for any longer than we have to. Yeah. After that game, I think it was the Atlanta game where he just hit 3 just god awfully. He needs to go. Get him up out of here. I'm sorry, Matt Hawk, if you ever hear this again. I meant it though. But you gotta go, bro. I'm sure you're a great person, but I'm good. All right, so that is it for the mock drafts for us 3. Right now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at my final selections, right? So let's go ahead and screenshot this. Maybe figure out, keep it so we know where it goes, right? We got wide receiver Jahan Dotson, Breece Hall, Kobe Bryant, Felix Jones Jr., Smoke Monday, Mario Goodrich, and that guy, and then Jordan Stout. So, Charlie, let me hear your thoughts on the full draft for myself.
I think it addresses a lot of the things that certainly the fan base is looking for, and I think a lot of the stuff that they need too, like they need corners, they do need safety. They love Jordan Poyer, that they've said that, but you never know what's going to happen with that situation. Plus, they're both, he's only 31, and I think Micah Hyde's 32, but they're getting old, and you don't know if Jaquan Johnson or whoever is the answer. And yeah, as much as I'm not in love with Breece Hall, like I said, I think he exemplifies what they're looking for in a third down pass catching running back, and certainly at 57, that's a reasonable pick. Jahan Dotson, even though he's small, is certainly an outside receiver. He's not a slot receiver that much, and they love to create competition. And as great as Gabe Davis has been, in the opportunities he's gotten, I don't think they're necessarily prepared to anoint him either. You know what I mean? Like they always want to bring in competition for guys. The only guy they don't want to bring competition for, to be honest, is Josh Allen. They'll bring in competition for anybody else. I love Mario Goodrich. I think that he's criminally underrated in this draft. And so Kobe Bryant, like no one threw at Sauce Gardner, so everybody threw at Kobe Bryant. So I think he's experienced. And like you said, Velus Jones, a bigger guy, but that guy can fly. And now they love the trenches, right? So would we ever really see this from Brandon Beane? Probably not, because they love the trenches, but it's certainly full of guys who are fast and who are playmakers. That's for sure.
So I agree with you, Charlie. And honestly, I was looking to maybe go a little heavy here, between these three picks in the offensive lineman department. But, after we take Jahan Dotson and Brees, because there was no cornerbacks that I was taking over Brees Hall, especially at that value of 57. None of them were available. If Roger McCreary is there, 57, I take him. I don't care if I took Andrew Booth Jr. in the first round. I'm still doubling up and I'm taking Roger McCreary here at 57, right? But they weren't there. And so, I took who I felt was the best player. And then I go get my cornerback, who I feel like he great value here at 89. And again, I was looking to go offensive line heavy here. This kid is here, and I gotta take him because I think he's really talented. And even if I did it, I would have took Williams, the other corner. And then Smoke Monday here. I think he has great size, and so I'm actually really happy with this draft. I agree with you, Charlie. I don't think Brandon Beane would ever do something like this, but I'm Brandon Beane now, so he would in this scenario. All right. See, look at this. Jake been hating all show. The whole show, Jake been doing nothing but hating. You drinking that haterade, Jake? Haterade. All right. But yes, so tomorrow you guys can tune into the NFL Draft / Rust Belt Report special. We are going to be starting our live coverage at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Guys, we got so many people for this. It's like not even funny. It's like
it's just from like this is hands down, I will say, the most ambitious like live concurrent with the draft production that anybody's put on. I can tell you hands down.
At least in the Bills community, yeah.
At least in the Bills community, like from like the personal content creator perspective, I would argue from any content creator community. Like I'm not aware of any event that is like this. Like on here, you can have 50 banners, which includes like the ticker that we see going down below, as well as like, the stuff that pops up. We're maxed out for round one. Like we hit 50 banners, and I was considering starting another folder, but I just couldn't because 50 was already too much. But I mean, we have like, we're tracking who's on the clock. We're tracking when the pick is in. We're tracking trade alerts. We have multiple tickers at the bottom, so you'll be able to see who's been drafted already. Like we're going full on production mode with this. And then like Justice just said, like we have so many different Bills content creators on from multiple brands, from those that work, just, here with Buffalo fan base. Like we're pulling out all the stops, and this is only year one. Like Justice and I already were today talking about, what does year 2 look like? Because we know that like we're going to want to grow this and continue to do this. So year 2 is already looking good. I had some conversations tonight, and year 2 is already looking really good for what we're thinking of doing. But I mean, doing 2 live rounds of the NFL draft, round 1 and then round 2, at the same time, the amount of production, the amount of studying that we've had to do. I still got to go finish up, but like everybody is going to be an expert, or an expert in their team, their teams that they've been assigned. Like we're
Charlie,
covering the whole.
I'll get you your teams here in a moment.
We're covering the whole draft, which like Justice just said, like we're covering the whole draft, because one trade up anywhere before 25 could potentially impact who the Bills take. And so we want to keep you guys updated, and we want to interact with you. It's going to be a fun but yet very exhausting night. And so I'm looking forward to it.
Man, come on. You don't get tired when you're having fun, but no.
No, this podcasting stuff can kill you if you're not ready for it.
Absolutely. All right, so just to give you guys a little sneak peek of what we got Mr. Ryan Caughill, obviously, and myself, we will be hosting. We have Jake Jordan himself. We have Mikey and Tommy from the Mafia Sports Report. We have Justin Goddard from the Wandering Buffalo podcast. We have my man Brian Alverson, or maybe you guys know him better as Reddit Bills on Twitter. We have Zach Vaughn from Buffalo Fanatics. We have Adam Zientik from Built in Buffalo. We have Phil Gong, who I guess I don't know who he's affiliated with. And we also have Brian and Adam Jordan, the brothers of Mr. Jake Jordan himself. We also have some special guests. Mookie Hawkins will be coming through. Some more special guests. We'll see. I don't want to give anything away, but we might have, maybe possibly a guest from the War Room. We'll see what happens with that. All right. Then for Saturday, Saturday is jam-packed as well. Not Saturday, Friday rather, for round 2. That will be the first round bye draft special. We got Dale Reed coming through. We got Bills Mafia Babes coming through. We got Mookie Hawkins, Robin Mundy. We got a whole lot of people coming through for Friday. And I don't know if I mentioned, but we also got my man Charlie Gross coming through. For Thursday as well. So make sure you guys check us out. It is going to be absolutely epic. I mean, we've got so many behind the scenes things that come in. It's not even funny. I'm going to be up all night, finishing up work, to make this thing.
I'm tired already, man. I'm not gonna lie.
No, man. So, but yeah, it's going to be a really great time. So make sure you guys check us out and tune in for that. Before we get going, Charlie, you got any final thoughts for us tonight, sir?
Once again, I would like to thank both of you gentlemen for having me on here. I really appreciate that. I guess my final thought is something that I actually sort of occurred to me in the middle of this show, and that is that I would not be surprised if the Bills take a linebacker on day 2, and I don't think it's to replace Tremaine Edmunds. If you take a quick look at their schedule, they play the Steelers, the Browns, the Jets, the Patriots, the Dolphins, the Titans, the Ravens, Cincinnati. All these teams want to run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that the Bills, and I know you don't want to take Taron Johnson off the field necessarily, but they're going to be facing a lot of heavy rushing attacks, and I think they might feel like they need a third linebacker to take AJ Klein's spot, and they might play that person more than they have in the past. But we'll see. Excited for tomorrow, guys. It sounds like we're going to have a blast. And like I said, once again, I appreciate you guys having me on. Shout out to everybody in the chat or who may be watching this later. Appreciate you guys tuning in, of course. And thank you guys very much.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys go support Charlie. As you can see his username there. And also support his publications, Draft Value Score, TTP Analytics, as well as 12 Squared. This kid. I keep calling people kids, and
I'm not so much.
I'm not that old.
That.
I'm literally only 27. I keep calling.
I'm old, man. So I appreciate that.
All right. Well, this kid is working. All right. So he's getting to work out there. Hopefully, me and Charlie, as well as, everybody gets to work together soon, as we will, because he'll be with us for the draft. And then also my man, Ryan Caughill, the man, the myth, the legend himself. You got any final words for us tonight?
Yeah. My final word is that I'm actually pissed that I didn't take not pissed, but I'm pretty pissed that I didn't take a safety. I think DeMar Hamlin, who is part of our safety depth, is a guy that can start on an NFL roster, but obviously we don't know what's happening with Jordan Poyer. That's one of those storylines that we're probably going to talk about with the Bills throughout the draft at some point, just because we have, again, that production side. We have storylines. We're doing so much, but I'm kind of pissed that I didn't take a safety. I'm happy that you did with Smoke Monday. Obviously, I had mentioned him, and he was, I was considering it, but I don't know, man. That safety is the wild card right now, and especially heading into what is our most prime time to go in and dominate in a Super Bowl in this time frame is really concerning to me. So that's my final thought. Other than that, I am getting prepared for tomorrow night. I got 8 hours of regular people work, and then I get like a hour and a half, 2 hour something break before, we got to log on and do our production stuff and test things and see what's up, and then get ready for the longest night of our lives.
Especially since we're going to be the ones producing it. Absolutely. So that is going to be very long. I
remember. Oh, and it's my first time actually like producing a live show. So, and I chose the draft, round 1 of the NFL draft live to start.
Jump in, man.
Yeah, right.
Talk about a way to start. You get 5 hours of content that has for 95% nothing to do with the Buffalo Bills. So
right, a lot of talking, a lot of waiting. So
listen, Charlie, if you saw the behind the scenes, like I said, I got the 50 banners. Like the behind the scenes is crazy.
No, that's a lot of work.
So
definitely, man. Like that's the thing that I've learned really. Like now that I'm like out on my own and I'm producing all these graphics, I'm like, man, the behind the scenes stuff it takes a long time.
Shout out to Justice, man. You do all the graphics and the videos and stuff. Oh, we got we got our own like commercials and stuff too.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be awesome.
Commercials.
Let me give him a taste. All right. All right. We'll go Wandering Buffalo. Shout out to the guys over there, Wandering Buffalo.
You are now watching the Buffalo fan base first round coverage of the 2022 NFL Draft on the official multimedia network of Bills Mafia. Tune into the Wandering Buffalo podcast every Monday morning. With your hosts Justin Goddard and Andrew Chang. Produced by Jakob Merkel. Now back to the 2022 NFL Draft coverage.
Wow, I mean, you guys really went all out,
And this is year one. Year one.
Ryan came, with an amazing idea, and we kind of created it out of thin air. And again, this is year 1, ladies and gentlemen. We are very ambitious, and we're only going to get bigger. So make sure you guys are along for the ride. Jake, I will quit. Okay.
What happened? You guys gonna be
I'll legit quit. I will leave this stream if the Bills trade out of first round. Okay. Like I'm telling you, Ryan's gonna have to host himself because I'm gone. Okay. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I need to see. Yeah, I did trade up. That's fine, but don't trade out of it. But thank you guys for tuning in to Homefield Advantage. Shout out to Ryan and Charlie for joining me on such short notice. I really appreciate you guys. These mock drafts will go up tomorrow on Twitter, so be on the lookout, and we'll have a poll to see who won, or we'll have a poll to see who came in second place behind me, and we'll see what happens there. So thank you to Charlie Gross and my man Ryan Caughill for joining us tonight. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate every single like, subscription. I can't talk today. Like, subscription, share, comment, tweet, retweet, all of it. We really appreciate you guys. So thank you for your continued support. This is the official podcast and YouTube network of Bills Mafia. Thank you guys.